Welcome back to Boiler House Garage. I got myself a bit of an eBay bargain recently with this unusual action camera called the Motorola Verve Cam Plus. I've been meaning to get a better camera for this channel, as currently I've been limited to holding my ageing Samsung Galaxy S9 in one hand while I try and do jobs on cars or tests on petrol with the other. However, with the London to Brighton Classic Car Run this weekend, I wanted to have something that could record the route in real time, the few stop-offs and the lineup of classics on Madeira Drive if or when we make it to Brighton to upload here. Since I've got no charging facility for my phone in the Cavalier and the potential for breakdowns, I couldn't really use the phone for that in all practicality. There's quite a bit of kit here, and all for the bargain price of £25 delivered. I'll add a link in the description below to the eBay seller who sent it quickly and left me feedback when I paid, so offered a good service as well as price. Let's first have a look at the camera itself. I have already opened two of the three boxes and have the camera mounted to an accessory stand, which I'll remove in just a sec. See what I mean about trying to film one-handed with a phone? Unlike most action cameras, this is circular, more like a security camera, but it feels solid and of good quality. On the back is an old style micro USB, or was it mini USB for charging. It's got a little splash proof cover for it too. On top you have the power and mode buttons and LED indicators to display what mode you're in. And on the bottom is a rubber covered port for the micro SD, sometimes known as a TF card. Since there's no display screen, this I believe was the camera's Achilles heel, it is mostly reliant on the Hubble Connect app, which has only 1 out of 5 stars on Google Play and the App Store, because basically it's complete rubbish and won't connect to most people's phones, including mine. Even if you can get it to work, it does sort of defeat the object of having a camera separate from your phone, and it must remain connected via Bluetooth to record. I'm hoping to be able to use this solely with the memory card. So inside the main camera box we get a few things. Firstly, a waterproof case so that you can film underwater. Again, you have to ask how practical that is to rely on having to use your mobile phone connected via Bluetooth. Next we have this rubberised protective cover that I think is paired with this matching orange lanyard to use it as a body cam. In a similar fashion they also include a clear rubber cover, again to use as a body cam but instead with a belt clip. All of this stuff seems to be of sort of good build quality. And the last thing in the main camera box is the USB cable for charging. There's no power adapter included, and sadly you can't use this for data transfer, at least it didn't work on my laptop, so I'll have to resort to taking the micro SD card out each and every time, which is kind of disappointing. Now let's move on to our first of 2 accessory packs. Having already opened it to find my favourite accessory, and one that will no doubt be useful for the channel, is the adjustable stand. It's not my favourite for being a stand, but the fact that it doubles up as a power pack, so you get additional charge for the main camera battery, indicated by the 3 LEDs here. It's charged via the same USB, but because it was originally a separate accessory pack, it also includes a mains power adapter, so I can charge up the stand and the camera prior to filming. As well as the stand, we also get a suction mount. This at first seemed ideal for filming a drive to use it as a dash cam, but you'll notice that the camera can only fit one way inside this circular collar, and it's designed to be mounted upwards and won't fit on a car windscreen as a dash cam would. However, we could of course just film upside down and then flip the video using editing software later, which is probably what I'll do for the Brighton run. Now this wasn't included in the bundle, it's the micro SD with an SD card adapter to plug into my laptop. It looks like the only means I have to transfer data, and that I'll have to bring my laptop to the event, as the 16GB will only give me about an hour and a quarter of footage before it loops and overwrites the earlier data. I did think to buy a job lot of micro SD cards and just keep swapping them, but without the ability to see what I'm actually recording or if there's any faults with the footage, it would be better to have the laptop as a media to view the videos on the day. Now on to our last box that I haven't opened yet. This one seems to have all the gear for strapping the camera to your head, bike helmet or push bike handlebars, plus there's something pretty cool in here that, assuming it works right, is my second favourite accessory. The first one here appears to be the head mount. I was put off these a few years back as I used a GoPro type when I was given the keys to the then new Aston Martin DB11 and drove it all the way to London. I was obviously driving it as it should be driven and hit 160 miles an hour at one point, only to later review the very exciting footage of the Aston sun visor and headlining as the camera was obviously sitting far too high on my head. The second pack contains the helmet mount. And this clamp is designed for bicycle handlebars, but I have seen these modified with longer bolts to attach to a roll cage, making them a good mount for track days. This, well, I don't really know what it is, but I think it's related to this cool little thing, if I can get it out. This is a remote control for the camera, so you can have it set up when it's on its stand and away from you, I assume on standby. Standby. And then you can press the remote to record and stop recording and to take photos too, I'd imagine. With that plastic isolator ribbon, I guess it uses a watch or key fob battery. So I think you'd agree that despite this camera's flaws, that's a heck of a lot of kit for just £25 brand new and delivered. The camera alone initially retailed for, I think it was $130 on its launch, and because of the major flaw that was the Hubble app and phone pairing, it wasn't successful. But time will tell how much value it'll add for me and this channel. Today's video is brought to you by Lens Store. If, like me, you're as blind as a bat but don't want to look like some specky nerd, you may already wear or wish to try contact lenses. Lens Store offer only the best quality brands, including AccuView Oasis and Focus Dailies, for some of the most competitive prices around. Order before 11 PM and Lens Store will have it with you the next day. Orders can be made without any referral, copy of your prescription, and by using my link in the description below you will get 10% off. Now back to the video. So let's first see what this is like, just holding it as a normal camera without any of the accessories. I think this is recording now. It's got the camera icon lit up and the blue light is on at the front. So let's get our first bit of test footage. It's future Rick here. I didn't actually get any test footage because I seem to have, well, not read the instructions. Turns out that the recording on is when you get the camera light and the blue light on the front flashing. When it's just on steady or permanently, that just means the camera's on standby. It is quite simple to get the hang of. You just switch it on with the power button, obviously. I don't think you need to press and hold actually that long. I think if you just push it, it will come on like this. Once you get that steady light, it's on standby, and you just press the mode button to start recording. And press it again to stop and go back into standby mode. What threw me here was the mode button is used to switch the camera on and off, and then you use the power, as in on-off button, to change the mode. Such as photo mode like this, you press the mode button as the shutter. You'll notice there's 3 modes on here, but this will only go into video and camera. The third one is cloud, which is just basically referring to uploading a live stream. That's something that won't work without the app, and so obviously you need to be connected to it for the cloud to work. It uploads via 4G or Wi-Fi. So this is the first bit of footage just holding the base camera with none of the accessories, and let's zoom in close to the rust effect paint and see if the focus is stable. It seems to be. There's a bit of walleye vision going on, and the green of the car looks darker than it does in real life, but let's try another close-up of the actual rust this time. Now I'm going to test it with the stand come power bank. Something I notice is that I needlessly struggled to remove this earlier, as the top button doesn't seem to clip the camera base in securely. You can just pull it in and out, and it doesn't seem to like click home or anything, so I'll have to watch it doesn't drop out if I've got it set at any particular height. The indicators on the back show that it is charging the main camera, as does the red light on the front. There's little difference in the viewfinding since there is no screen. I just have to point and shoot, so to speak. This time I'll focus on my recently fitted ATS Classics from a 1979 Opel Manta or possibly a Skona. Lastly, I'm going to give the head mount another try. It's very similar to the one I used in the past that has these interlocking joins and bolts that can be tightened down by hand to set the correct angles. I'm only 5'9", yet having to angle the camera down isn't ideal for filming. Whoops, I seem to have left the protective cover on, though it won't affect the footage as it doesn't actually protect the lens, only the casing. The centre bit here is cut out. So we're at a much higher viewpoint, even at my below average stature. The boiler house garage decal is in the centre of my vision, but it appears slightly lower in the camera. It's worse the lower something is, as I'm looking directly at the wheel centre now, but with practice it should be okay. Time will tell, and hopefully it serves me well this Sunday for the London to Brighton run, where you'll see me in 1970s period dress, as in flares, dagger collar shirt, and I've even grown a moustache and a poor excuse for a pair of sideburns, but you'll probably have to wait until Monday evening before I can edit the footage for upload. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you then.